toy storage mats. So here we have Duplo out to play with on this one, and in here we have the really annoying Lego that's so hard to tidy up and just gets left everywhere. So does Duplo. So I'm going to try these storage options and see how they go, and this is my DIY tutorial to help you be able to make them as well. This was the fabric I chose, and it was 1 meter in length, and this was the width of the fabric, so it would have been about 120 wide because it's worked out to be slightly oval shaped. And so you can choose any fabrics you like. I have chosen drill fabrics for mine, and I'm kind of keeping with the black and white theme because I plan on making quite a few of these to put away toys, and I want them to all go together so they look kind of tidy in their piles or being left out probably. I have cut away this much. I actually do it by eye, but you could get all fancy and measure it somehow, but it's pretty easy to do it by eye, to be honest, and it doesn't really matter. You just need a nice sliding sloping curve, so when you sew it, it's quite easy to sew. You don't want it to be too curved, otherwise it would be quite hard to get around the corners. So if you actually cut more off here, it would be even easier to sew. The flatter it is, the easier it is to fold over the curves. But anyway, this worked well for the last one, so I'll keep going with that. Then you can take this and lay it over the other side to get the same kind of shape for this edge to cut. I'm saving the corner cut-offs to make the tag for the bag. So a tag for the bag afterwards like this was made of corner pieces. Okay, so I've overlocked around the edges now, and if I reach any pointy or scraggly bits, I just edge them off with the overlocker to make them like nice curved edges. It just makes it really easy to do it all with the overlocker, so you're not spending heaps of time cutting with the scissors and making it all perfect. Just do it with the overlocker and you get it done quickly. I've turned it over and I'm going to start the casing for the drawstring now, or ribbon. So what I do, I actually don't use pins because, again, I suppose it's a time thing and I just want to get things done. But if you are a beginner to sewing, I would recommend pinning it. I leave about 2 centimeters, so you could measure that again, but I know it by eye. Well, let's say 3 centimeters to be safe for the drawstring. And then when I am sewing around these corners here, this is what I mean by the straighter they are, the easier it is to sew them, and the smaller the curve, so the lesser the curve, because it's getting more curved here. When you fold it over, you're going to need to gather up a bit when you're going around the curve on this side, because this outer edge is more than when you folded it in. So see how it bunches? You just need to, as you're sewing around, pin and bunch it a little bit so you have these little gathers, and it still works really good for the bag, so it's no worries. It's just how you pin it and just tuck it away as you go around, otherwise you'll get to the end and it will be quite a mess around here. So just do as the fabric kind of wants to fold. Do some little gathers as you go every few centimeters or so. I'm going to start sewing here on a straight edge, not a curve, because when I come back round to here, I want to have this opening here for the drawstring to come out of. If it's in the curve, it will be a lot more bulky and a lot more annoying. Okay, so I'm sewing around the curves, and see how I've done a little fold there to go around the curve, and I'm almost around the curve, so it's not needing more, but how the fabric is starting to bulge up there, just do a little fold like a kind of pleat and then sew around it until you get back to the straight edge. I've come up to the start of my sewing and I've left about a 4 centimeter gap here for where the ribbon or the drawstring will come out. Okay, so I've sewn all around the edges and made the channel for the drawstring, and here I am measuring out the ribbon to make sure it's the right length for the drawstring channel. I'm using ribbon, not the most sustainable option, I might add, basically because I have it, and then it's also really easy to slide through the channel, and so you can actually pull the bag close really easily even though it's got a really big drawstring channel. If you had a cotton string or thicker string, it would actually be quite hard to pull the bag closed. I'll show you what I mean shortly. Here I have put the pin onto the ribbon to start sliding it through the channel here, and if I can encourage you to use this more sustainable options like the cotton tape, that would be great. It's just this isn't going to slide around the 3 meter or so channel here, so I've got the ribbon already and that's why I'm going to use it. Need to use it up and things, but in future I'll most likely be using something that is biodegradable. So if you can make the choice to be more sustainable, that would be great, and I'll let you know in the future if I make bags out of the cotton tape option and how they go, so keep an eye on my videos. And so this is 1 centimeter ribbon and the channel is about 3 centimeters wide, and I found with the other bag it worked really well, and so I'm going to push it all around through the channel now. So I've finished pulling through the ribbon all around the edges, and so I'm going to cut the ribbon around about here and then pull a little bit through more here. You don't want to pull more out because otherwise you'll get just an excessive amount, because when your bag is tied up, this is how much is left over after it's all pulled together anyway, so you want to leave this bit now with it all open as short as possible. Right, so I have taken the corner leftover offcuts to make a new tag bit for the ribbon to go into, so that the drawstring can close easily and that the ribbon ends won't get lost back into the drawstring channel. So take one piece and the other piece and place right sides together, and then you could draw with tailor's chalk onto it the pattern that you want, a square piece or a circular piece, or I've just made it about like a heart shape, I guess, so I've just used the kind of corner as the pattern, and I've done a heart shape without the little V here, and I just do it by eye again. And so I'm going to sew from here around here and back to here, leaving a little opening to put the ribbon ends into, and then I will turn it through and then put the ribbon ends into it and sew it, top stitch it all shut like that, doing an extra back tack where the ribbon goes into to hold it all in place. Okay, so I've sewn the shape now, and I've snipped into the edges of the shape to make it fold in nicely. So of course when these bits fold in on the inside, when you turn it through, they're going to fold up a bit, so I snip out the extra wedges so that there's not too much fabric bulk in the shape when it's turned through, and cut away the corner there so when it folds inside it comes out to be a nicer corner. All turned through now, and I'm going to tuck the ribbon into the opening here, and I'm going to top stitch around it about 0.2 mil all around the edge, and then it is finished. Woohoo! So I finished the other one, and that's it open on the outside, and then this is the done one here, full of Lego, and then they open up. All the Lego goes inside there, and then it's super easy to grab the ribbon and tidy it away. And then there's a big Lego mat there to play on as well. Just 2 birds with 1 stone. It's awesome. Super easy to make as well. So I'm just going to show you how to tidy up and how easy it is to tidy everything up. So chuck everything in the middle and then grab the drawstring. Yay! It's a lot easier than putting it away. So you can encourage your kids to just play on the mat. About 2 seconds, tidy up.